What is going on, guys? Austin Salyer here. Let's talk some reality TV. Today, I think I have a great video for you because where this is a returning player season, we all already have preconceived notions of these people, so we expect them to play a certain way, and we already have our favorites. So I thought it would be fun to get one of my friends who has never seen Survivor and have him watch the first, well, I guess 2 episodes and see what he thinks of all of the people and the gameplay going on. So today, I have my friend Ethan with me. Ethan, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Austin. Thanks for having me.
Alright, so this was your first time ever watching Survivor. So let's just start off with a really vague question. What did you think of the show, like, as a whole?
It seems really competitive and really interesting, and it really grabs my attention in a way that not many shows have.
Yes, in my opinion, it is the best show on television. So, I do have a list of people pulled up here so you can see all of the faces, because I know it would probably be hard to remember everybody's names after just one episode. So, who were your favorites coming out of the episode?
So honestly, I really like Tony and Sandra. They seem to be the 2 figureheads for their tribe, and it really put a lot of dynamic qualities into their game.
So, were you upset to see Tony go?
I was a little shocked by it, honestly. I mean, I don't really know much about how this game works, but it seemed to me like he'd be a definite front runner for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and in Tony's first game, as you probably heard a little bit about in the episode, he dominated. He completely smoked everybody, and he won the thing. And this time, I think he came in a little bit too strong, and that's what I've been talking about in some of my videos. But Sandra got him. Sandra is the queen, and she really manipulated all of these people. So let's back up from talking about Tony and Sandra for a little bit, and let's go to the first elimination. So Ciara Easton was the first person voted out, and why do you think it was that she was voted out?
Well, I think it might be pretty blatantly obvious to everyone why she got voted out. Even for someone like me who's never even seen the show before, she was taking a lot of shots at bigger players early on, so that really put a target on her back for those that could be easily manipulated by those players.
Absolutely. One thing in Survivor that a lot of the fans know, and Ciara knows this too, she's played 2 times before and has made deep runs in both of those games. But this time she came out just a little bit too strong, and that's a huge mistake to make in Survivor. But another story that came out of that vote was Michaela was the decoy vote, because obviously you can't tell Ciara that you're voting for her in case she has an immunity idol or something. So after Michaela found out about this, she really started freaking out. What did you think about Michaela's reaction to hearing that she was the decoy vote?
I mean, obviously she had some trust issues regarding everyone telling her that she was the decoy vote. I mean, can you really trust anyone in a game where you're all pitted against each other? Secondly, I think that her reaction was a little uncalled for, to be honest with you. She made herself an even more flamboyant target than she already was in terms of how she reacted, and I just really feel that she could have treated it better.
Yeah, how do you feel about Michaela? I don't feel like you were too high on Michaela coming out of the episode.
Not really, to be honest with you, but I feel like she's got something in store for the rest of the season. I think she'll be a good, solid player.
So Michaela played in the last season. How far do you think that she went based on this episode?
Well, you've explained to me the concept of the merge and the post and pre, so I think that she made the post merge, elsewise she wouldn't have a chance in this game.
Well, Ethan, you are wrong. Michaela missed the merge by, I think, 1 vote out. What happened was she came off as too strategic, actually. You didn't get to see a lot of her strategic chops in this episode, but she got a bunch of rocks and started calculating a bunch of stuff, and people got really intimidated by her and decided to get her out before she could even get to the merge. So, based on that, do you think she will do better or worse in this game?
She seems to be a pretty flamboyant personality. She's really out there in the sense that she portrays herself, and I really feel like if she keeps that up, she's not really got a great chance. If she can adjust, I feel like she'll go far, though.
Alright, and before we move off of the Mana tribe, let's just ask about a few of the people on the tribe. Malcolm, what do you think about Malcolm? Malcolm is certainly a fan favorite throughout the entire audience of Survivor, but what did you think about him based on this episode alone?
I think he's definitely an alpha dog, even though he doesn't really put himself out there as one, which leads me to think that he's got something else in store. He's really good at the challenges from what I can see, especially in the second one. And I think he's really trying to take charge in that sense to portray himself as a strong player.
You actually have a pretty good read on Malcolm. Although Malcolm and Ozzy look the same like physically, and a lot of people draw comparisons between the two, it's a wide consensus that Malcolm has a much better strategic game than Ozzy does. And Ozzy, although he is better in the challenges than Malcolm, in my opinion, is a better player. But that actually is a pretty good read on him based on this one episode. What'd you think of Caleb? He was working very close with Tony, and you liked Tony, so did you like Caleb?
I honestly feel like Caleb was a little too manipulative. I think he really took others' words more than embracing his own ideas.
That's another pretty good read. Caleb isn't very good at working alone. He's not a strategically minded player, so that's honestly, you've been pretty on the pulse so far, I've got to say, for never watching the show. All right, one more. One of my favorites. I don't think he had the strongest episode, but he definitely has improved from his last time. What about Jeff Varner? I know you saw him not doing as well in the challenges. What did you think of him overall as a character?
Well, I liked his tie, but that's pretty much the only thing I can say about Jeff. He didn't really seem too strong in the challenges like you mentioned. I don't really see him making many moves backstage, so maybe he's trying to keep a low profile here early on.
That's exactly what he's doing, because he played in Survivor's Second Chances 2 seasons ago, and he got his second chance, and after 15 years, he got a second chance, and he came out guns blazing, and he went out 4th in that season. He went out very, very early, but he was so entertaining because he was playing so strong that they brought him back again for this season, and he's really taken a step back this season, so I'm actually really glad to see Jeff improve his game like this, because I do think he's going to go much further than 4th. What do you think? You think he'll beat 4th place this time?
I haven't really seen much of Jeff, so I can't really make too much of a prediction right now as to where he'll fall, but I'm open to see what else he's got.
On the second season that Sandra won, the 2-time winner, the season was called Heroes vs. Villains. Was Sandra a hero or a villain, in your opinion?
Honestly, I think she's really trying to play the hero role right now for her tribe. She's gathering everybody up and really unifying the team.
So, hero is your final answer?
Final answer, I'm locking it in.
Wrong. Once again, Sandra was a villain. And she actually had a very villainous moment when Tony was voted out. She really rubbed it right in his face. What did you think of that? Do you think it was unnecessary, or do you think it was just in competitive spirit like some people do?
I think she took it a little further than competitive spirit. And you heard me say this, I called her a prick. It's almost like a haha I beat you moment, because they were both definitely really manipulative to the other members of their tribe, and I think she really just played her cards a lot better than Tony.
Absolutely. Personally, I thought it was extremely entertaining, and I'm glad that she did it, but it was a little bit over the top, I do agree, but I'm glad she did it because it was so fun to watch. All right, let's move on to the Nuku tribe, the tribe that you were very high on from the beginning. As soon as we saw both of the tribes, you said that Nuku was stacked in favor in terms of the challenges, and you were right. Nuku won both challenges. I'd say the main story with that tribe right now is the Ozzy versus Cirie feud. You didn't see fans versus favorites, but Cirie played a big part in voting Ozzy out, as you can see in the episode, because Ozzy really wants her out, and Cirie caught wind of that and is now trying to basically make a counter. What do you think of that feud, and who are you rooting for between the two of them?
Well, to be honest with you, Austin, I think Cirie's playing her cards a little too hard right now, and Ozzy's definitely a very heavy contributor in the challenges, obviously. So I think Ozzy has the upper hand at this point in the game. And like I said, I haven't really seen too much of their history together other than what you've told me. So I think it'll be fun to see how this pans out.
Absolutely. I do agree that Ozzy has the upper hand right now, but Cirie is a masterful player. She's one of the greatest players of all time. And Ozzy certainly is a legend in himself too, but he's not known as like a strategic mastermind like Cirie is. But Ozzy's challenge performance will probably keep him around for a lot longer, because unless you're like a Tony and you're really just ticking people off, they're not going to vote you out if you're strong.
Yeah, when the swap comes, I think that if Ozzy ends up with some stronger teammates, he'll really be safe far into this competition.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There is no way Ozzy doesn't make the merge, in my opinion. He has played this game 3 times prior and has made the merge every single time, so that's pretty impressive. Did you have any thoughts on Debbie, the older woman? Her and Cirie certainly had a lively conversation where Debbie really had her finger on the pulse as to what Cirie was trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, Debbie's obviously a little more experienced than the others who were manipulated on the other tribe, but I feel like she's got a good read on Cirie right now in terms of what she's trying to do with alliances and pulling everybody against Ozzy.
Absolutely. Debbie's always been one of my favorites. She's just crazy. She has all these jobs, and I hope Debbie goes far. And she seems to be doing okay this time. No one's really calling her crazy like how Tony was being perceived. How about Ty? Ty was certainly one of the biggest characters in Survivor Kaôh Rōng a couple seasons ago, but based on this episode right here, what did you think of Ty's performance?
I don't really have too much of an opinion on Ty other than he really seems to like his poultry.
Absolutely. Are you familiar with the songwriter and singer Sia?
I am.
Sia herself actually showed up to the Survivor Kaôh Rōng reunion show, the season where Ty got 3rd place, and there was a single chicken, Mark the chicken, who Ty decided to keep as a pet and not kill on the show. And Sia came up to Ty and gave him like a few $1,000s for doing that. She gave him like a check and gave him a lot of money for being so kind to animals.
It seems like he's definitely a fan favorite from what you're telling me, but I really don't see him contributing too much in the challenges or in the background.
Yeah, and Ty, like, he is a fan favorite. He certainly was on his season, but I think towards the end of the season, people started to get a little bullish on Ty, including myself, so I don't know. I feel like Ty will make it decently far. He's not horrible in the challenges, and he's not any sort of strategic threat, so why waste a vote on Ty at this point? Alright, Ethan, I'm gonna ask you to do something that all of us Survivor fans, we like to do it before the season. And of course, you've seen the first episode, but you weren't involved in the preseason, so you're gonna get a little bit of a head start seeing the game. Who do you think will win this game? I've already made my winner pick. I'm sure everyone watching has made their winner picks. Who do you think will go all the way?
Austin, my pick for the winner of Survivor Game Changers is Malcolm.
Dude, guess what? That was my winner pick too.
Get out.
It was. Malcolm is a great pick, in my opinion, of course, because I picked him as well. I think Malcolm is set up phenomenally well. He's extremely strong in the challenges, but he's not the strongest. So if they're going to vote out the biggest physical threat, it won't be Malcolm. And he's very good strategically. I can see him finding idols like he did in his season. I think Malcolm is one of the most solid picks, and the fact that he was not even close to on anybody's radar tonight really makes me feel good about his chances.
Definitely. He's not too strong in either category, so I feel like he can go a long way if he plays his cards right.
Dude, I gotta say, for only watching this episode, you have really had your finger on the pulse. All of the decisions that you've made have basically been that of a decision that I would make, and I've seen every episode, and I talk about these episodes. Like, I've seen this episode 3 times now after watching it with you, and you basically already have the same thoughts that I do, so honestly, I'm pretty impressed with your Survivor instincts.
Well, hey man, I thank you for including me in this video and pitching the idea to me. It's really been fun.
Alright, well Ethan, if you don't have any final thoughts, I think we're going to go ahead and end this discussion. So thank you all so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.